we talked about the F1 Academy a bit last week, and it's sort of the unofficial replacement for the W Series. That was the all-female racing series that went on for 3 years, actually. I thought it was only 2. It was 3 years. Jamie Chadwick absolutely dominated. She was in a league of her own. Probably shouldn't have been in the W Series if we're honest. It unofficially folded, and you had F1 Academy come out of those ashes. And it was kind of the FIA's idea of, okay, let's take this a bit more seriously. Let's have it integrated into the Formula pyramid, where it would kind of slot in under F3. So you had F1, F2, F3, F1 Academy. This past weekend, and you probably didn't know, it was the inaugural race weekend for the F1 Academy. They weren't at Baku. They were actually in Austria at the Red Bull Ring. And guess what? There was no coverage. Nowhere. Now, I understand if it's not on cable, it's not being broadcast on Sky or TSN for us or ESPN. Fair enough, because they don't even show F3 on there. So, fair enough. But F1 TV shows just about everything. I mean, they show freaking rally cars sometimes. No F1 Academy. And if you go to the F1 Academy Instagram, they had reels that had a broadcast of this race. You had the broadcast angles, you had the cameras, you had the commentary. I'm not sure who it was. So I have no idea what's going on here. Once again, Liberty Media, FIA saying they want to build the sport for females. They want to give them the opportunity that they didn't have because it's been a male-dominated race. You see that across all sports. Sexism built right into it. And it seems like it was all for show, because how are you going to grow a sport? How are you going to gain momentum if you're not even going to show it on any of your broadcasts? And F1 TV, it's so simple. Like, put the race on there. What are we doing here? It's your own channel.
Yeah, and I believe this statement came out Thursday, Friday, that there would be no global broadcast. So again, leading up into the weekend, the frustrations were aired on the internet. I know it came alive, and Liberty Media has a responsibility to broadcast these events and promote this sport on equal platform. I know the viewership is there for sure now that we've got a much more structured category and sponsors actually committing, but those sponsors aren't going to stick around if it's not being broadcast, right? That's what they're there for. And this is also to enhance the women's abilities to compete on a platform that is at a level playing field that ultimately they can segue into the top category of Formula One should they be talented enough to do so. But they can't do that if it's not being showed to the world.
It's insane. Listen, Formula racing, at the end of the day, it's all about money. I mean, you talk about Lewis, and he was able to get to the top without a huge bankroll behind him like a lot of these other races. But that's the exception to the rule, 100%. And Mike, like you said, F1 Academy secured sponsors. W Series didn't have sponsors, one of the reasons that it wasn't successful. And all of these sponsors are expecting to get TV time. That is why they are sponsoring. Listen, it's great. I'm sure a lot of them do it because they believe in this series. But at the end of the day, the other side of the story is they want to get their business out there. And if there's no broadcast, then there's no way that we're going to see who these sponsors are. And they're not going to stay on board with this. Like, it's the first. I can understand if it's like, oh, okay, well, like, there's 7 race weekends, 1 or 2 we can't broadcast. But it literally the first one. And I reiterate, there was a broadcast. It's on their Instagram, and it's nowhere to be found. I can't understand. I have no answers for you. I wish I did. Maybe FIA or Liberty Media will come out and address this. Hopefully they're not going to just pull the old classic corporation, say nothing until the next scandal comes up with a different company. Very unfortunate. We'll keep tabs on this, folks. But for the meantime, Liberty Media, skating on thin ice.
Yeah, a statement of clarity would be nice too, and also letting us know what's going to happen with future events, because this is something that we definitely want to cover, and we want our fellow fans to enjoy it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. With that being said, the next race is Valencia.
We get a
So listen.
ask and you shall receive.
Listen.
I want to watch this race.
We want to watch this race. It's the Valencia Street Circuit. We were just talking about this on a previous episode. So it's a week away. It's May 5th to 7th race weekend. So Liberty Media, you got less than a week to get your shit in gear and broadcast Valencia Street Circuit, F1 Academy. I don't know how you can't broadcast something with F1 in the name. It's
Really?
insane. It's like, that's why you branded it that way. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep you updated. If there isn't, then we're going to write a letter. We're going to start a GoFundMe or something.
We'll address this formally.
Yeah, we'll get someone to ask Stefano Domenicali what the hell he's up to.